In case you haven't heard, it was Kalen Ballage. She was the definition of unstoppable, scoring 8 of the 9 touchdowns for Arizona State on Saturday, along with 137 rushing yards and 48 yards in the air. He ties the FBS single game record for touchdowns with 8, and also is the first time such a thing has happened since 1990. He now sits atop the record books in the Pac-12 as well, and at ASU for most rushing touchdowns in a game atop the record books now. Kalen Ballage. What a night, what a game. And to break it all down for us, we have our Cronkite Sports football analyst, Jacob Janower, in studio. Jacob, before we talk about Ballage's historic night, let's talk about the guy taking the snaps. Manny Wilkins, after a questionable first game against NAU, he really performed and settled in nicely against a difficult Texas Tech team.
Yeah, exactly. Wilkins had 55 yards on the ground in this play, a big reason why. You see him scramble out to the side here. He's looking for that open man. He's got one, Fred Gamage, number 89, downfield. Instead, he decides to run, evades 2 defenders, gets by 2 more, and then the trademark hurdle right here really turned that sack into a first down. A huge play for Wilkins and the Sun Devils.
After that NAU game, head coach Todd Graham said he would tell his quarterback to stop hurdling defenders. Well, he did it again against Texas Tech. Okay, let's talk about Kalen Ballage. He tallied up 48 total points of offense. Again, 8 touchdowns in total. A lot of things to break down for Ballage, but what were a couple of runs or certain plays that stood out to you?
Yeah, well, this was one of his early runs in the game. He really dumbfounded Texas Tech's defense. You look at number 94, Christian Hill right here, set that lead block. He's a defensive lineman who they inserted on the offensive line. And then primary running back DeMario Richard, number 4, also sets a huge block that allows Ballage to just walk into the end zone. He had 6 of his 8 touchdowns out of that Sparky formation, more commonly known as the Wildcat. So we'll see how often that is used going forward.
Okay, let's look to present day. ASU kicking off in San Antonio tonight for their first road game at 6:30 against the University of Texas at San Antonio. Can the running game hold up against San Antonio on the road tonight?
Well, according to the numbers, it should. You know, Texas San Antonio has allowed 182.5 rushing yards per game, albeit not against the best competition, while ASU has 288.5 rushing yards per game between their running backs and even Manny Wilkins. And I'm thinking that Richard and Ballage, the 2 best running backs that the Roadrunners have faced this season, maybe the 2 best that they will face all season. So again, according to the numbers, ASU should have an easy time against the Roadrunners, but we'll see how it works out.